My hair is a bit messed up, but anyways, so the topic of this video is fear, and I think it was really the it was really the quote "Thou shalt not fear" that appeared in my mind over and over again. And yes, that is what we will be talking about today. So I want to talk about how I spent my break. So I honestly feel like during my break, I achieved the goals that I set out to achieve, and I felt like that allowed me to grow as a person. I reached my goals of exercising regularly, reading life-changing books, meeting my friends, connecting with people, as well as finding my purpose. But something that I realized is looking back at how I performed throughout these past few months is that I still have this feeling of fear. So, what type of fear would you if you ask? It's the fear of being judged for being alone, for being different, and from changing the type of person I am, and how people would react to that new version of me. Because the truth is, what I've seen is that not everyone wants to see you change. Some people, and honestly, it can be your closest friends, they can deliberately put you down to make them feel better for themselves in order to protect their ego. So, with that, they don't like to see you develop as a person. Of course, I'm not going to name any names, but I've seen how that goes and plays out. And yes, I don't know how to say this, but I genuinely feel like I've changed in these past 2 months, both as a person externally and as a person when I'm alone. I've been putting myself in positions of discomfort, complaining less, and making very little excuses for myself. So, genuinely, that has been a great change from the person I was 2 months ago. Yet, despite this new self, I still have that fear that I talked about before. It's not just the fear of judgment, but it's also the fear of kind of being alone. Because this journey has forced me to kind of not really cut ties, but distance myself from people that are not necessarily bad, but perhaps not good for my development, if that makes sense. And so I spent a lot more time alone. But now I feel, or more recently, I feel the fear that I have been rejected from my own group because, well, I've distanced myself from certain people. Not everyone. I'm still very close and I still connect to a lot of people. But I've distanced myself from a couple of groups because I realized that this is not good for me and I should focus on myself. And so I have that fear that my friends don't like me as much as they did before. Because the truth is, I'm not very close to some people that I would have considered my best mates. And I feel that deep down, even though it's still the best, I still miss these guys and I still love them. So I have been very uncomfortable with this new path in my life, this new environment. But yet it encourages me to kind of find out who I am as a person and what makes me special and what exactly my drive to my life should be. You know, it encourages me, this new environment, to fight and stand up for myself, who I am as a person. It made me realize that I, in my own way, I'm a special and I'm a beautiful individual. And I don't need any group or anyone or any amount of external validation to kind of define that for me. I no longer I no longer attach my identity to these groups, to my race, my background, and I no longer seek validation from others as much. Because if anything, throughout these past months, I have found myself. I have found who I can be, who I need to be, and I have found my goals in my life. I found what makes me me. And I felt like that, if anything in life, that's the most important thing. And I know this change, it will still take a lot of time. I'm still not perfect, but at least I'm striving to be. And I feel like bravery, or not fearing what other people think, not fearing being alone, I feel like it's gonna take time. But that's the point of this journey. It's to take time alone. It's to take time to focus on myself in order to kind of become more independent, to become stronger as an individual, and to be less of, frankly, a bitch. If I had to tell myself anything before I end this video, it should be that no one should put you down if you think what you're doing. If you think what you're doing is truly of value to others and truly righteous. If anything, fight for yourself, fight for courage, and fight for other people. Thou shalt not fear. Thank you.